Viewers, sitting in America, Rahul Gandhi is seeing divisions everywhere in Indian society. The Congress scion who never fails to play on the insecurities of Muslim minorities has now widened his canvas to include the Sikhs. Rahul Gandhi said that the Congress was committed to fighting the RSS BJP ideology that he claimed was built on excluding other Indians. To illustrate further, Rahul Gandhi said, and I quote, "The fight in India is about whether a Sikh is going to be allowed to wear a turban, whether a Sikh will be allowed to wear a kada or go to the Gurdwara. That's what the fight is about. And it's not just for Sikhs, but for all religions," unquote. Listen to what Rahul Gandhi said, viewers.
He, as a Sikh, is going to be allowed to wear his turban in India. Or he, as a Sikh, is going to be allowed to wear a kada in India. Or he, as a Sikh, is going to be able to go to a Gurdwara. That's what the fight is about. And not just for him. For all religions.
Viewers, Rahul Gandhi is the leader of India's opposition. He's the LOP because it is a pivotal constitutional office. He is doubly obliged to be responsible and factual when speaking in public. Baselessly claiming that Sikhs are under siege in India, the victims of some sort of xenophobia perpetrated by the government, is to callously sow the winds of disaffection which will only fuel the whirlwind of separatism. Look around you, viewers. Do you see Sikhs hiding their kadas? Do you see them being persecuted on the streets because they wear their turbans? India doesn't need to see a repeat of the bloodletting of the 1980s and 1990s in Punjab, fueled by Congress vote bank politics. A charge that the Congress can't disassociate from, especially as it gave Khalistan sympathizer, the late Sidhu Moosewala, a ticket to contest for the last assembly elections. One could have given Rahul Gandhi the benefit of doubt had he been talking about Muslims. There have undoubtedly been hate crimes against the community, but to drag the Sikhs into the same boat without a shred of evidence to back his claims is unforgivable. Here are some hard facts, friends. First, about 77% of total Sikh population in India lives in the state of Punjab. This makes Sikhism the majority religion in Punjab, in that state, where it is practiced by 16 million people, or 57.7% of the population. In other words, the Sikhs have numerical superiority to assert themselves unconditionally. And they do. For instance, despite India being a secular republic, Punjab is the only state in India with a defined blasphemy law. It was passed as an assurance to Sikhs that their religion would be protected in India. Interestingly, the Congress Chief Minister, Captain Amrinder Singh, who managed to expand the law's scope in 2018, ended up joining the BJP. It stands to reason that Captain Amrinder Singh, a war veteran, a proud Sikh, and an one-time Gandhi family loyalist, wouldn't have joined the BJP had the latter been viewed as anti-Sikh. Third, Sikhism is part and parcel of Bharat's dharmic socio-religious fabric. Being dharmic tradition, Sanatana and Sikhism are intertwined, sharing similar customs. The Sikh holy book, the Guru Granth Sahib, makes references to Hindu gods and goddesses from the Bhakti movement, such as Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, Parvati, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Rama, and Krishna. The bond is civilizational and unbreakable. Let's not forget this bond is important to Sikhs too. Thousands of Sikhs fought the Khalistani separatists. Have we forgotten? Many were martyred, lined up and shot dead on the threshold of their village homes, pulled out of buses. They martyred themselves unthinkingly to preserve the unity of India. They serve on our front lines. KPS Gill, the super cop who cleaned up militancy, was a Sikh. Have we forgotten? Did he not proudly wear his turban and his kada and twirl his moustache? Viewers, the BJP, RSS and the Modi-led NDA have always promoted the interests of the dharmic traditions in India, especially Sikhism. In 2015, the Modi government set up an SIT and reopened 300 anti-Sikh riot cases, leading to the imprisonment of the guilty. For the first time, Modi government gave rupees 5 lakh each to 3,328 families of anti-Sikh riot victims. The Modi government constructed the Kartarpur Sahib corridor, providing facilities for Sikh pilgrims to travel to Pakistan. Modi government opened the way to give citizenship under the CAA to Sikhs who were tortured, persecuted in neighboring countries like Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. The Modi government made Sultanpur Lodhi the first Karam Bhumi of Guru Nanak Sahib, a state-of-the-art smart city. FCRA registration granted to Sri Harminder Sahib. Following global Sangat participation, provided financial assistance under the Seva Bhoj Yojana. Modi government waived GST on langar items. In 2022, announced December 26 to be observed as Veer Bal Divas as a tribute to Guru Gobind Singh's sons. High-powered telescope for devotees to view Sri Kartarpur Sahib, located in Pakistan, and seek blessings was also set up. National Institute of Interfaith Studies set up at Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, to promote brotherhood and diversity. Revocation of Article 370 has given equal rights to Sikh minorities in Jammu and Kashmir, which they didn't have. Domicile certificates issued for 1947 West Pakistan Sikh refugees as well. That was never given to them. 3 copies of Guru Granth Sahib flown in from Afghanistan after the Taliban takeover. Ministry of Tourism sanctioned the development of Anandpur Sahib, Fatehgarh Sahib, Chamkaur Sahib, Firozpur, Amritsar, Khatkar Kalan, Kalanor, Patiala Heritage Circuit under the Swadesh Darshan scheme. Modi government brought Jallianwala Bagh Memorial Amendment Bill 2019 to construct and renovate the National Memorial to restore the Sikh sense of historic pride in their contribution to the freedom movement. Prime Minister Narendra Modi used to disguise himself as a Sikh during the emergency, sporting a turban and kada. That's the picture on your screens, friends. For an individual who has always refused to sport the Muslim skull cap, opting to wear a turban says a lot about his disposition towards Sikhs and their faith. Importantly, the BJP liberally gives tickets to Sikhs. The Modi cabinet has Sikhs in important posts. Beyond government, Sikhs who wear their turbans and kadas with pride are also part of several institutions, both in public and private sector. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress has little moral authority to speak on Sikh security, viewers. Many Sikhs have pointed out the irony of Rahul Gandhi talking about the community's welfare when the only time ordinary Sikhs faced an existential crisis in India was under Congress rule. Don't forget that. These Sikh leaders aren't wrong. Here are more hard facts. Inaction and complicity is what the Congress governments have been guilty of. Then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi's statement, quote, "When a big tree falls, the earth shakes," unquote, was seen as justifying the violence. In May 2019, Sam Pitroda, when questioned on the 1984 anti-Sikh riots, set off a storm by replying, "So what?" Yes, he was replying to a question on the alleged involvement of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in the riots. He said, quote, "Ab kya hai 84 का? आपने क्या किया 5 साल में? उसकी बात करिए। 84 में हुआ तो हुआ." Here's another fact, viewers. Incitement. Jagdish Titler, senior Congress leader, alleged statement, quote, "We will teach them a lesson," unquote, was seen as inciting violence. When was he held guilty, viewers? 35 years later, just the other day. Can you believe it, viewers? Almost 4 decades later. Kamal Nath's alleged statement, quote, खून दा बदला खून नहीं, बदला खून का बदला, unquote. Blood for blood, but not revenge for revenge, was seen as inflammatory. Kamal Nath, viewers, went from one height in the Congress scheme of things to another. Shielding culprits, Jagdish Titler and Kamal Nath were accused of involvement in the riots, but no action was taken against them. Congress leader Sajjan Kumar was accused of leading mobs, but was protected by the party till he was finally convicted over 3 decades later. Then there is a charge of inadequate compensation and support. 10,000 measly rupees was given as compensation. Many victims and their families were left without proper support or rehabilitation. It was siphoned off, viewers. Even that measly amount of money. Justice was delayed, and as you know, viewers, justice delayed is really justice denied. The Nanavati Commission, set up in 2000, took 5 years to submit its report. Many cases were delayed, and some accused were acquitted over lack of evidence. We all know the facts, viewers. There's been no accountability. The Congress party has never collectively acknowledged its own role in the riots. No senior leader has been held accountable for the cover-up, let alone the violence. It isn't just that the Congress has no moral right to talk about Sikh welfare, but Rahul Gandhi's baseless fear-mongering also plays into the hands of Pakistan and the United States. Pakistan, that once bang-rolled Khalistani separatism, has been trying to revive the movement in Punjab. It has nurtured Khalistani terror groups on its soil and looks to clandestinely inject these insurgents back into the state whenever the opportunity presents itself. Bhindranwale wannabe Amritpal Singh, who has been jailed under UAPA, is a case in point. The United States harbors Sikh extremists buying into their false prosecution narrative. Rahul Gandhi's remarks gave these separatists cover to continue to claim victimhood. The US State Department could very well turn around tomorrow and point to Rahul Gandhi's remarks to dismiss Delhi's claims that the Khalistani separatists should be handed over to India as they are mere Pak proxies sponsored to break the Indian state. Viewers, Rahul Gandhi's political scorched earth politics is a zero-sum game. It might in the short term win the Congress a few votes. I don't know from whom, but it might. But it will cost the country dear. Let's open this up, viewers. I gave you a long, very long introduction to set this up, to break this down. And I want to bring in Jaan Singh, the Chief National Spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party this evening. So Jaan Singh, how do you view these remarks by Rahul Gandhi today? Are Sikhs scared of wearing their turbans and their karas in public in our country, sir?
Thank you very much. You have given a very nice prelude to the complete thing. I would just say that since I stay in Punjab and I've already sat down in a couple of debates on the subject, the people of Punjab, especially the Sikhs, are very shocked and deeply hurt by the statement made by the leader of opposition at the national level. They feel that the leader, he really does not know that no power on earth can play around with Sikh sentiments and Sikh traditions and Sikh Rahat Maryada, especially when it deals with our holy Sri Guru Granth Sahib and our Gurudwaras. It is very obvious that he knows little about Punjab and even less about the Sikhs. And after perpetuating extreme atrocity and genocide on the Sikhs, the Congress and especially Rahul Gandhi have no moral right to comment on our religion or on our affairs. Rahul Gandhi could have chosen 100 other methods and means to put across his point, whatever he wanted to say over there. And the arrogance with which he spoke to the Sikh youth from where all this started is deeply humiliating and embarrassing for us. So overall, in continuation of what you have told, I think what Rahul Gandhi has done is absolutely condemnable.
Bhai Baldeep Singh ji, where do you step in on this?
Good to see you, Rahul.
Good to see
Me
you,
wonders
certainly.
which
God bless.
India is Rahul Gandhi traumatizing about. Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Jews, and others are comfortable wearing their articles of faith because of the protective embrace of the Gursikh Panth. I think he's seeing the picture somewhere else. I have no liking for the khaki that the RSS wears, on a light note. But aren't very many RSS members from Punjab worried about mass conversion of innocent Sikh villages, especially from underserved communities to Christianity? Talking of which God is greater, aren't the Christian missionaries in Punjab preaching to the innocent Sikhs that the martyrdom of Sahib Sri Guru Arjan Dev and Sahib Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur, the Rakshak of the Hindu Tilak, Janeu and Puja, their martyrdoms are lesser than that of Christ. This is what is being taught. If Rahul Gandhi is worried about Sikhs losing their articles of faith, he is to see what is happening in Punjab, where some people are cutting the kirpan gatras and taking the turbans off from the Sikh Panth. I mean, it is so pitiful to hear him patronizing a brother, Sikh brother with a turban. I mean, come on. That as if he's worrying about the Sikhs. Sikhs, as Gandhiji said, that I'm not a fan, I'm from the uncolonized India. I represent a different memory line. He said the Sikhs need no protection. They have the Kripan, the coming of grace endowed by Guru Hargobind, by Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj, and they carry the Siksha of Bhagat Kabir, who says, Gagan damama bajyo, pareo nisane ghao, खेत जो मांडे हो सूरमा अब जूझन को दाओ सूरा सो पहचानी है जो लड़े दीन के हित पुरजा पुरजा कटी मरे कभू न छाड़े खेत. This is written on the DNA of the Guru Khalsa. I mean, Rahul, I would like to assure you, you need not worry about the Gursikh Panth or the Gursikh articles of faith. Talking of languages, what did Nehru and his legacy dividing India on linguistic basis? Guru Granth Sahib is 24 languages, 120 dialects. What is he talking about? In a single binding, in a script. If you go to the Nanak Mats in Bihar, UP, Bengal, you will find Valmiki Ramayans and others written in Gurmukhi script. Guru Nanak empowered Vidya like that, those who had been disenfranchised. I mean, there's some people who shouldn't be talking about religious articles of faith, etc., or languages until they've had a briefing on the idea of civilization that our Watan is, that our civilization is thriving to thousands of years, from the Vedas, Puranas, to the Gurbani, to the Sufi Kalams. I mean, come on, Rahul.
Well, so you
not you, Rahul.
No, I understand. So you made my hair stand on end. We are all bound so closely in a large, including my family. Some of the eldest sons were always given to the Sikh faith. So, this is, it's a sad moment actually tonight. I don't know how to react actually.
And Rahul, it is something so intimate that you've just shared. You know who's the eldest child of the family?
Yes.
The waris of the family.
Yeah.
I mean, people forget that intimacy. They are the waris, they are the caretakers, the protectors of the family, and they are being endowed with the kripan of Guru Hargobind Maharaj. Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib, who's Baba Tyagmal, but who's endowed the title, the brave with the sword.
Gee.
Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj, their sword is given. It is their turban which is given.
Gee, sir.
Come on.
Gee, I know. I mean, let me just, look, Mr. Nikul Patel, usually you get very sort of combative. Sushant Sarin is also here. Before I come to you, sir, I don't really want to make this so political. So do forgive me. I just want to bring in Sushant Sarin, Abhijit Iyer Mitra. Both of these gentlemen are here. And I just want to understand, Sushant Sarin, from you first. Look, what is Rahul Gandhi playing at? Forget about, we might believe that he may not be well versed. Okay, for a moment, let's consider that fact. But let's assume that the people around him have given him a script. Now, who has written this script and who is he addressing really? What's going on here?
Look, Rahul, number one is it's a factual mistake which he's making. Actually, despite all the social tensions in India, even the Muslims are free to practice their faith. I don't think there's been any hindrance or obstruction on the Muslims being able to practice their faith. Nobody stops them from going to a mosque. Nobody stops them from doing Ramzan. Nobody stops them from doing anything. So to imagine that a Sikh who is like, at least for somebody who's from Punjab like I am, we never see any difference between the Sikh and the Hindu. We consider it part of the same tradition. To expect that somebody like a Sikh would not be allowed to wear a turban, would not be allowed to wear kada, you've got to be completely off your mind to suggest something like this in a country like India. Okay, maybe if he was talking about Pakistan, I could understand. Secondly, yes, there is a problem of conversion which is taking place in Punjab. And yes, it's not just the Hindu community in Punjab, but the Sikh community itself. In fact, the well-endowed among the Sikhs who don't seem to be bothered by it. Perhaps for the same reason as Mr. Rahul Gandhi going to the US and pandering to a certain prejudice which some people in the United States might be having. Perhaps he's pandering to the Christian evangelist lobby out there. By bad-mouthing Hindus and anything to do with Hindutva, Hindus, whatever you want to call it. You don't necessarily have to be a fan of the RSS. There are some good things about the RSS, some very good things. In fact, at the time when militancy was at its peak in Punjab, the RSS played a very, very important role in ensuring that the brotherhood between the Hindu and the Sikh does not go out of sync. So I think the RSS has a lot to commend itself. One can have problems with some of their antediluvian ideas, but this is a free country. People are entitled to their views. But the RSS has done some good stuff. But let's come back to the pandering that Mr. Rahul Gandhi seems to be doing. Look, I think there are two factors to it, and maybe this is just my analysis. One is that there is this constituency in the West, very powerful, very liberal, very woke, very interfering in other countries' affairs. We've seen some of it in Bangladesh, where it's okay if you are a stark, raving, lunatic Islamist and you get released from jail despite association with Al-Qaeda. That's perfectly fine. That's the building of a new Bangladesh. But heavens will fall on you if, supposing some Hindu was talking about his religion or some Sikh was talking about his religion in India. So one is that constituency in the West, which he seems to be pandering to, and second, and which is quite allergic to what India has right now, the current dispensation in India. And I think the second problem with him is that he actually thinks that this divide and rule policy actually pays electoral dividend. I think the lesson probably that he has taken from the 2024 elections is that the more you incite people on matters of caste, on matters of community, or the more scaremongering you do that the constitution will be finished, that everybody's rights will be taken away, right, that the Brahmins will rule and all Dalits will be consigned to I don't know what, right, purgatory. The more you do this kind of a thing, the better your chances of winning an election. I personally think that it might give some yield, some dividends in the short term. But, this is precisely the kind of calculation which Mrs. Gandhi, who had, again, many things to commend her, precisely the kind of mistake she made. For example, in Punjab, when she tried to sow divisions in Punjab, when she tried to raise, the Khalistani element or the radical element to queer the pitch for the Akalis. It was a political game which went out of hand.
Okay.
So I would strongly counsel Mr. Gandhi that he needs to step back, take and not listen to some of the kind of characters who seem to be advising him.
Well, if it's the Hua to Hua gang, then God help him. But nonetheless, let me bring in Abhijit Mitra here. Abhijit Iyer, there's also a Congress statement which we'll pull out on the screens on the right while I speak to you. What do you make of this? The Congress is now reacting to this controversy and says, and I quote, BJP has once again edited and run a video of Rahul Gandhi and linked it to the Sikhs. Rahul Gandhi had talked about giving equal rights to everyone irrespective of their caste or religion. Remember, this country has already given a befitting reply to BJP's hatred and lies against Rahul, unquote. This is what they are saying. They're sort of trying to now suggest that look, the Congress party put out the complete unedited speech, which I have heard. And I think it's pretty clear as day what he was saying there. There's no editing, etc. I can't speak for the BJP, but what we heard and what we played out is what you got. So, Mr. Iyer Mitra, what do you make of this? And Mr. Nakul Patel is also there with us. Nikul Patel.
So Rahul, ever since Rahul Gandhi started speaking about teleprompters, I have always held that he should become the brand ambassador for a teleprompter company, because nobody is more in need of a teleprompter than Rahul Gandhi. Every single time he has gone abroad, he makes these outrageous statements which come back to bite him, and then the Congress has to, field all its firefighters, its spokespersons, its script writers and whatnot to put out clarifications after that. The role of a leader is to make his party's life easy, not to make his party's life difficult, where they're constantly firefighting and they can't be doing campaigning and things like that. This is number one. Number two, as Sushant pointed out, the net result of 2024 has been, because his divisive rhetoric worked so well and got him 99 seats in this Lok Sabha, he has taken it home. He needs to stoke these tensions more and more and more and more. In that sense, the more accurate comparison of Rahul Gandhi is in fact to General Ziaul Haq. Ziaul Haq started this whole sowing of division within Pakistan as if it wasn't divided before. And look at the loony bin that Pakistan has become today. All the centrifugal and centripetal forces of extremism that were encouraged have now come home to roost, and it's an emporium of terrorism. Rahul ultimately doesn't care what happens because it's everything for power. What it reeks to me of is desperation. The Congress had never budgeted. If you remember in the past, Mrs. Gandhi was out of power for 3 years? And then the Congress went out of power for another 2-3 years under Rajiv Gandhi. And then, say for another 6 years, but it was in a way where they could have manipulated things. They have never budgeted being out of power for 10 years and now most likely 15 years. This is something, they are operating in a situation they do not know. And for them, they are going to do whatever is necessary to gain power, because this is the last hurrah of a party that is on a respirator. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'll be completely wrong. Maybe Rahul Gandhi will win a triumphant victory in 2029 and become our next prime minister. But understand, when he does become that prime minister, much like Mohammad Ziaul Haq, he will have to deal with all the hatched chickens that he has laid.
Okay, let me just bring in Nikul Patel. Mr. Patel, this is the opposite of Bharat Jodo. You've heard both the spokesperson of the BJP. You've also heard Bhai Baldeep Singh Ji. Both of them are suggesting that this is fiction or something worse.
See, Rahul, I also heard your introduction. So I would like to say, viewers, the hard facts brought by Rahul in the beginning of the show, that what Narendra Modi had done for the Sikhs, then I would like to bring one fact that Kavaljit Singh Arjana, the BJP candidate from Pihua, just don't want to contest the election because he is facing the not support from the Sikh community. Why? If BJP government had done more for Punjab and Haryana, then why this is being faced by a BJP candidate? Second, the farmers of Punjab and Haryana are protesting against the Modi government. Why it is so? That is also the hard fact. Now coming back to Rahul Gandhi, I would like to convey to your viewers that if you listen the entire speech of Rahul Gandhi, he is saying that India is the diversity in unity. Every state has its own culture, own religious, own language, own tradition, and we respect everyone. And that is what is required. Now, a person sitting in front of him was from Punjab, and he is quoting an example that everyone who is in the India can practice their own culture, religion, and what is wrong in it. I don't understand there is anywhere disgrace of the country, nor he had tried to put anything against Sikh community. He was rightly telling that he is a leader of opposition, and the responsibility entrusted on him for next 5 years by the people of the country in 2024. I would like to make people together and not like Bharatiya Janata Party, who is coming with a single agenda of Hindutva and making Hindu Rashtra. That is what he was trying to communicate to the people, and I'd like to say this is what is the hard fact of his speech.
Okay, Jaan Singh, would you like to respond, sir?
Yes, I would like to respond. Thank you very much. Firstly, I would like to thank all the panelists who have spoken so strongly in support of the Sikh community, which shows that the high esteem with which the nation holds our community, for which we are very grateful and very proud to. Mr. Nikul has spoken about the farmers, and he's spoken about BJP, Sikhs of BJP not contesting. I would like to tell him that in Punjab, when we fought the 13 seats, more than half of them were of Sikh candidates over here, and they fought really well. And we took our percentage from 6% to 18% as far as the vote share is concerned. Overwhelmingly in Punjab, Sikhs are supporting the BJP. Secondly, he says that you speak about the whole speech. I do not think there is any need to look at the whole speech. It is the context in which he has spoken and the arrogance with which he has spoken to that young boy, that Sikh boy, which shows once again what I said earlier, what little he knows about Punjab. And the manner in which he has spoken about Guru Granth Sahib, I think it is blasphemy. It is the breaking of the Maryada. And the least that Rahul Gandhi can do now is to apologize to the Sikh community. And we are very sure that under Congress, the Sikhs will not be very safe in Punjab. About that, there is no doubt, considering the mindset with which their tallest leaders are approaching us and talking about us.
Okay, let me just come back to, yes, I'm coming back to you, Bhai Baldeep Singh ji. I just want to ask you, where is Rahul Gandhi coming from? I'm trying to get at that. Forget about, what he has said, whether it's right, wrong, how much of it is false, etc. What is he trying to do here?
I think he's coming from
Very
ignorance. I mean,
talking
to the gentleman leader who mentioned that he has said nothing. I mean, I'm quoting now from the Deccan Herald. Rahul Gandhi said, as they say, the fight is about whether a Sikh is going to be allowed to wear his turban in India or a kada in India, or he, as a Sikh, is going to be able to go to Gurudwara. That is what the fight is about. I mean, excuse me. What do I need to hear? Is that the fight? It's sheer ignorance. Somebody who knows not the political landscape of India, who has no idea about the history, and somebody who has no idea where the country is headed.
But he's the leader of the opposition, sir. I mean, he's occupying a top constitutional post. That's the shadow prime minister.
I'm shocked. I'm self-shocked. I mean, where does it come from? I guess it's ignorance, or he was maybe sleepwalking and sleep-talking.
Okay, well, can we be, someone occupying such a sensitive post, Sushant Singh,
No.
can we sort of just pin it to ignorance, or is there a design here?
Rahul, I think what can be ascribed to malice should not be ascribed to ignorance. And why I say that you can ascribe this to pure malice is, look, we just saw what happened in Afghanistan.
Ji.
What happened to the Sikhs out there? Where did they come? Did they go to Pakistan? Did they go anywhere? Maybe some of them went to Canada who had relatives out there. But where were the Swarups brought? And where were they brought with all the deference which is due to them? To India, right? And you are saying that the Sikh community is not going to be allowed to go to their Gurdwaras, or the Guru Granth Sahib is not going to be safe in India, the turban is not going to be safe in India, the kada is not going to be safe in India. Are you saying that? And what is the kind of message you are trying to deliver in a Western country where the radical element is being sponsored by the deep states in some of those countries, which is being allowed to run amok, right? And the Pakistanis are involved in it and all kinds of other things. I don't want the debate to be derailed. So I disagree with my friend Abhijit to the extent that he's talking about Muhammad Ziaul Haq, but before Ziaul Haq, there was another man called Muhammad Ali Jinnah who said, I will either divide India or destroy it. In this case, it is either I will rule India or divide it and destroy it. I can't understand why a party which was the natural party of governance, which was the party which kind of, manner of speaking, spearheaded the freedom movement, is now peddling this kind of a narrative about India, outside India, and what purpose it serves. I don't see what purpose it serves. And very clearly it is being done by design. Maybe it's an ideological bug, but it quite clearly looks like it is being done by design. And I don't see how it is going to yield any long-term dividends.
Okay. Bhai Baldeep Singh, you were raising your hand before I move on. Yes, sir.
Just my little disagreement. I still think it's ignorance.
Okay.
it's malice. I mean, come on. I mean, this
okay.
I mean, I'm on a light note. There has to be ignorance.
Rahul, okay, well, I just hope it is. I just hope it is, because yes, Punjab BJP spokesperson.
Ignorance is worse than malice.
No,
Mr. Jaan Singh wants to come in.
I don't think it is ignorance.
Okay.
It is a statement which has been made with a lot of thought, and this shows the mindset that this family and the Congress party has towards the Sikhs, for which reason I have made a statement that the Sikhs were never secure under Congress rule and they never will be. It is very obvious now.
Well, let me tell you, viewers, the other day I was in a park in the capital, and what I saw around me were refugees from Afghanistan, were refugees from Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan. There were refugees, viewers, even the Rohingyas want to come to India because they feel secure. Much more secure than they were in fact, their own countries, viewers. The Parsis are here. They are not catching a flight to leave. UAE Muslims working in the UAE, they always come back like homing pigeons to this country, viewers. If it was so bad, they would perhaps set down roots or go somewhere else, further afield. It's not as if it's not happened in the past, viewers. India is an open country. It's a beautiful democracy. Everyone has a vote and everyone has a voice. And it is our responsibility to exercise both the voice and the vote responsibly, my friends. Otherwise, we'll end up like America. And you see what's happening there.